Happy Saturday to all my friends. A lot of new friends, too. I tricked you. I came in early. Have some stuff to do this afternoon, and I wanted to have time to discuss a few things. Normally don't go live on the weekend, but this is 2 Saturdays in a row. What do you know? I was going to wait till Monday to go over a few things, but my brain is going crazy with this case. As you know, nothing makes sense. Nothing. So I hear Truckee is basically a ghost town now. There's no search going on. That's from people that are there, looking around, live there, drove over. Of course, Adventures with Purpose was there. I saw them on the NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt last night. A lot of stuff going on. Let me see real quick. Let me welcome everybody. Then we're going to get to it. Before I start welcoming everybody, I just want to say that this is an open chat. We welcome all theories, speculation. Hell, we've had people in chat before saying they hate me. It's like, sure, hang around. Come on. That's A-OK. So we just agree to disagree. We're still friends at the end of the day because we're not solving this case anyway. We're talking about it. We definitely are. Definitely are interested. So anyway, to the man that was on panel yesterday, not the day before, that was Ryan Upchurch. The guy that was on yesterday was not Ryan Upchurch. Some people said, oh, it was Ryan Upchurch and he was, he didn't want to be seen or something. No, that wasn't him. And I wasn't arguing with that gentleman. Remember, you come on panel, we're going to have a discussion. So if I don't agree with you, I'm not picking an argument. I see a lot of stuff now that I went back through it and I was re-listening to what he said. I see he's picked out a lot of things that make very good sense to me. So if he's in here, grab the link again. Let's see who's in here. Healing Awareness, first one in, 8:09 a.m. I think I just listed the show. Sky Blue Moon, good morning. Or is it afternoon yet? No, it's still morning. Katrina Jacobs, hello. No, Katrina. I'm reading too fast. All right, I've had too much caffeine. I'm going to take a deep breath. Amy Jacobs, is this going to be another Bash Ryan Upchurch stream? No. I'm not going to bash anybody in any case that is fighting the good fight to find a missing person. No, never. I do understand there's a lot of that going on, though. I do. Avy's a new member. Thank you, Avy, for becoming a YouTube member. There's our friend Kat. Misty Doo. I just saw Misty Doo over in the members live. We had a really fun members live this morning, guys. If you missed it, you'd be sorry. Diane's a member. I didn't see you in the members live. What'd you do? Sleep in? That's okay. Morgan Wilkins, good afternoon almost. Pat K, how are you? Jules, Katie Bird. Where's Summer? Hello, Miriam Suzanne. Healing Nature 888. What a cool name. Hello, Preschool Granny. Hey, Preschool Granny, I saw your comment in the members live. Send me an email or message me in Discord. I got some questions for you. Fun to Ski, how's it going? Lisa Irwin. JPL is here. She said, good morning. It's another beautiful day here. She was poking around Truckee yesterday. Maybe she'll grab the link and talk to us. Angie Gibson, Walking Dead, love much Hurley Faith. I see some new names. Take a second and hit the sub button. FMX Star. Hi, Connie. Hi, Rexy. Hi, Kamari. Miroslav, and I cannot pronounce his name. Our family-related cousins, both Ukrainians, both were at the party, both involved with Kylie. Are they involved with Ronnie? Because we got to narrow the cousins down. I got a jar of dirt. Hello. Turquoise, Lusa, Debbie. Tough as nails. That's a hell of a name. And you've even got the little emoji there too. Joyce Moulin Rouge. If I miss anybody, I'll grab you in the comments because you guys have the best comments. Well, hey there, Dallas 420. Where you been? Work keeping you busy? Haven't seen you around. Seashells Prosperity, Fairy Dust. Probably should have slowed the chat down. Not very forward thinking of me now, is it? I'll remember it for the next show. No big deal. But anyway, thanks you guys for being here on a Saturday. Nice day outside, I'm sure, where you're at. It's hot here again. I'm ready for a break in the heat. But anyway, we got some stuff to go over. We have some stuff to talk about. So I'm going to try to get through it as fast as I can. Scratching with D-Man. Exactly. I emailed Ryan this morning, too. Who are these cousins? Who are these cousins? Who the hell are they? I was really excited last night. It's kind of busying around here. And NBC Nightly News, with the very articulate and well-spoken Lester Holt, was on. And lo and behold, who did I see but Adventures with Purpose? Took a picture of my own TV right there. Super, super proud of those guys. Happy. This is a really dangerous mission. This is really dangerous what they're doing. They don't, this is crazy. I took a picture and sent it to JPL. Hold on one second. Somebody said, can I come up and talk to you? You bet you can. I love Lester Holt too. Like when he's on Dateline NBC as well. But my Dateline guy, my Dateline crush is always going to be Keith Morrison. Always going to be Keith Morrison. Yeah, the link is chat. The link is pinned in chat. I got to get some water. I'm drinking my caffeine too fast. Can I come up on panel and ask you a question? Yeah, or you can put it in chat and I can answer it. Hang on. I got a bunch of people piling in the back. I'm going to bring up our friend Pat first. I haven't chatted with her in a long time. And we are going to go through comments from the last show, which was yesterday. By the way, if your comment is showcased, the after show comment, not what I put up during the show, those are important too. Send me an email. You'll figure out why later. How are you doing, Pat? Like I said, are my eyes deceiving me? My friend Pat is here.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Brooks. Yeah, I've been missing for a while. I'm gardening. That's my life.
That's okay.
I'm inside today. It's too hot outside. So I'm inside today. I've been listening to, I had to replay the members live and Kat walking around Windsor Castle. I just love.
Oh, now that's amazing.
I love castles and that was just awesome. I loved it. So what do we got going today? I feel like I'm so behind on this because I listen to your channel, not really anybody else's, because I don't know what to believe, but I know you stick to the facts, yes, which is what I like. I don't like all the other, the aliens picked her up and took her somewhere. I stay away from those channels.
Yes.
So I feel like I'm so behind. So go for it. I
would say I would catch you up today, but it's almost impossible. So we'll kind of go to what came out yesterday and, of course, talk about what led us up to here. So we'll probably catch you up.
Okay. I got notes.
We'll do our best. Okay, this is from Adjusted Fate. I think the panelists' Sir Coolbox's suspicions about Ellie are spot on. Don't be naive to think for a second law enforcement wouldn't use lies and half-truths placed in the media and press releases to catch a killer. They absolutely do. I went back and I listened to what he was saying, and I thought that could be possible. Just a teaser, I guess. You know what I mean, Pat?
I guess they could. I never really thought they would until someone did bring it up, and I thought, well, if it's going to catch somebody, then go for it. Whatever it takes.
Now, I am not saying that law enforcement is misleading anybody or anything like that. I'm just saying I see what he's saying.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to mislead us. If they mislead us that much, then they're not going to get in real information.
Well, for a fact, they don't tell us everything they know. So we already know that part.
Yeah, and I agree with that. If they need to keep it close to the vest, go for it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I loved this part of the comment because I said yesterday in the show several times, I said, I really wish Mom, Kylie's mom, would start putting her thumb down on these girls.
You mean Sammy and those people?
Sammy, even Kate, Mags, Mags like, well, for all, 10-minute Mags.
10-minute Mags, yeah. When I heard the first, you had it on your show, the news conference with Sammy up there, she was like 2 sentences into it, and I thought, oh, this isn't going to go good. This is not going to go good. Yeah. Pretty well everybody's commented on what I was thinking, like, no, hun. Go sit with the police. Ask them what you can do.
The first time I saw Sammy, I thought, is this a joke?
Yeah. You don't tell people to give you clues. And then, you know what? I was going to go on my Ancestry account and see if there was a birth announcement to find out how old she was. Because once we start hearing she might be 22, I thought, okay, so was she saying that Kylie was partying like a teenager? Was she like acting as the adult? And Kylie's now a teenager partying? So I thought that I couldn't understand where she was coming from. I guess that's my thing.
Her phrasing is very weird. Kylie was at a party just being a teenager. I thought that was really odd wording too.
Yeah.
Really odd wording. And Adjusted Fate also says in this comment, he said something else Ellie would do, because I said the mom needs to basically just shake the shit out of Mags and Sammy. They're the ones talking. Well, they were. Don't get your hopes up. They aren't talking now. Sammy, according to her, she's the one that pretty much knew everything that was happening and was the last call. She admits that she wouldn't take a ride from Kylie as if Kylie was begging her, because Kylie was, just so wasted. But she left her to her own devices because she's a smart girl. What I was saying is, I wish Mom, I understand Mom has a lot going on, distraught, anxious, in grief, you name it. I just wish she would be like, okay, you guys like attention, you like social media, here I am. I'd be tagging them on everything. I'd be 10 times worse than Stacey Jones is with her daughter, Michaela. I would be an animal with them to get them to say something. They'd be so uncomfortable. But Adjusted Fate made me see the light. You want to hear the light, Pat?
Yes, I do.
He said something else law enforcement would do is advise the family to continue to befriend Kylie's, in quote, friends, especially Mags and Sammy. It's the old honey, not vinegar equals more flies routine. Ellie needs Mom probing these girls for any nuggets of information she can manage to subtly pry away. I love that comment.
Well, I agree with the thought of it. You don't make enemies when you're trying to find information about your daughter. My first instinct would have been I camp myself at their front door and say, come on, tell me everything. That would be me, but nicely. Of course, I do it nicely. But it's my daughter, for God's sake.
Yeah. Oh, me too. I mean, I would start out nicely. I would. But when I realized that I'm not getting any new spiders in my web, I'd be like, all right, gloves are off.
Yeah. Now, did Sammy go in the car with Kylie to the party?
No, she went with Mags.
Okay. All right. Yeah, the whole thing, I personally didn't think it was that big a party. The way she was talking, I thought, and I told you this before, it was like a one-up. Like, oh, our party for the end of the year was the best in the past 10 years. That's what I was sort of thinking she was saying.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Woodstock 2022, according to Sammy. She was overwhelmed. But Sammy goes to so many parties, she has a yardstick to measure, She goes to so many parties. It's like Labor Day in the Hamptons, and Sammy has the dance card, I was overwhelmed by this party, and I've been underwhelmed. Well, why'd she leave early? Then it was said later that she organized the whole soiree. But why'd she leave? Then why'd she leave? Why did she leave her friend there blasted out of her mind? Why did she turn around later and say she seemed okay to me?
Yeah, that whole thing, even when she first started talking and talked about the timeline of when people were leaving, I thought, well, that's not a big party. You don't leave at 11:30 or 12. Isn't that when they all just get started?
I don't know how kids are doing it these days. I have no idea. If you told me to come to a party at midnight right now, I'd be like, are you on crack?
Yeah, but that's how the kids would do it. Like even my son 20 years ago, he wouldn't leave the house till 10 at night. And I'd go, isn't it kind of late? And he'd just look at me like, oh, mother, come on.
Come on, Mom. You know better, Mom.
Yeah. But
Sammy. And we don't even know if a crime has been committed. So nobody is accusing anybody of anything here except for being a shit friend. Okay? Except for being a bad friend.
And she didn't even see, I have compassion for the youngness of her. She didn't even realize that's a horrible thing to put out there.
Well, to put it out there in the universe. Everything. I drank everything out of her cup. She seemed okay to me, but I wouldn't take a ride home from her. She was too drunk, and I skedaddled. I was out of there. Mags, the whole 10 minutes I was there. Really?
Yeah. Really?
And they say kids these days aren't what kids were when I was growing up. They're so much further advanced. I mean, they could give us a schooling, right? But they don't know that an intoxicated person is not safe to their own devices.
Right. And even 20 years ago when my son was going out, I would always say, how are you getting home? He'd say, oh, it's okay. And he would name someone that was the DD. And I thought, oh, wow, that's better than 20 years earlier when I was, out there.
In a nutshell, Kylie just got ditched.
Yes. And at 16, she's a baby. 16, you're not old enough. You haven't gone through life. You're still a kid. It's very sad. It's very sad.
Yeah, and before I get to the next comment, I'm glad, you brought that up. Yeah, you're still a kid. You're still a kid. I mean, I look at my kids as kids, and hell, they own homes.
Yeah.
But, it was mentioned to me the other day. They were like, well, there's just no way she would have just ran away from home. She had her whole life. She has her whole life ahead of her. Very musically gifted, the whole 9 yards. And I said, who at 16, even if you did graduate at the top of your class, you name it, knows how good you've got it? Hell, there's people 50 years old that don't know how good they've got it. You can't tell me that at 16, unless she is just a very, very special case, that they're extremely appreciative of the gifts that God granted them.
No, they haven't lived enough yet to, I'm sure there are, I don't want to say no one's appreciative, but they don't know until they've gone through some real, or seen some real, bad stuff. No.
Hold on one second. Cal Ward said no crimes were committed. Really? How many underage drinkers were there and illegal drug use? Absolutely. I'm talking about with Kylie's disappearance. That's what I'm talking about. If Kylie truly drove away and had an accident, that wouldn't be a crime. Now, I would say that someone allowing her to drive off would be a crime, but that's kind of charged in a gray area. Well, they were drunk too, they wouldn't notice type of thing. I'm talking about in her disappearance. I can't just come out of the gate and be like, damn it, Sammy, why'd you kill Kylie?
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't know which direction they're going, except for that law enforcement has a ton of questions that don't seem to be aimed to, we think she ran off the road and is out there somewhere. Sorry about that, Cal. I should have been more clear. Angela B. yesterday said, when you mentioned Sammy saying about trafficking and then she's probably halfway around the world, it set the biggest red flag alarms off for me. Me too. I had to rewind it. I can't tell you how many times and go, did she say that?
Yeah, me too. Like, who would come up with that? Like, really, that would be the last thing I'd come up with, because it seems so surreal. Even though I know it happens, I wouldn't have come up with that. But hey, I guess maybe that's where her head's at. It was just odd, I thought.
At her age, where would she come up with that scenario? What movie has she been watching?
Right.
She really thinks at the party she was at, someone snatched her friend that fast and got her off to Manila?
Yeah, that's
where her mind is? No.
And you'd think if her mind was there, she'd start saying, well, I saw this guy and this guy and this guy. She didn't follow it up with any of that. So why would we think of trafficking? They're at a campground party.
Yeah. And trafficking is a thing. I am not discounting that. I am not saying anything about that. That couldn't be a possibility. At this point, it could be anything. JPL sent me a very interesting thing she got on her Facebook, where there's a lot of trafficking going on in Sacramento, not too far from where Kylie disappeared. Kylie's the only one that disappeared, though.
Yeah. Yeah. And would they really go to a party surrounded by tons of kids to snatch a 16-year-old? It just seems more unlikely that would have happened.
Uh-huh. Also look at the 2 changes of clothes. We have one hoodie on. I don't know what order the hoodies were on. We talked about this yesterday because we had a panelist on that was confused about the hoodies and thought really the hoodies didn't really have too much to do with anything. And then I explained at one point in the party, she had the Lana Del Rey on, and then she switched it to the white and pink that you see in the thumbnail. I don't know the order, but something made her switch. It could be a friend saying, I'm leaving. Hey, can I get my hoodie back?
Right.
I don't know. It could be she got something on it. I think that's a red flag that the one that knows everything didn't mention the wardrobe changes through the night.
Yeah. Yeah. And then how inebriated was she?
Well, on one hand, she says, yeah, well, I was pretty drunk too. She did say that.
Yes. And she was drinking everything Kylie was. So, yeah, it's just odd. You can go ahead with your comments. I have something I wanted to say, but.
No, please do. I know where you're going, my friend. We've been friends for too long.
I can't believe in this day and age that we're not inundated with pictures of this party. Where are all the pictures? How could they get, and I'm going to say 50, 50 kids to all not post. I don't understand that.
I don't either. And law enforcement confirmed it. Placer Sheriff, there definitely was not hundreds of videos/photos. We have been transparent with the public from the beginning, and we need the public to trust us to do our job. They've got to be as perplexed as everybody. They've got to be as perplexed as everybody. In one of the community meetings, the officers said at the community meeting, they said, if you're thinking it, we are too.
Of course. I for no reason think I'm smarter than them, but my Lord, where is all the effing pictures?
I know. Oh no, in this case, nobody's smarter than anybody for sure. I mean, that's on their Twitter. There's not. Yeah. What the hell's going on? You're at the party of the century.
Exactly. Was there some sort of code that these parties you're not allowed to take your cell phone out or something? I don't know. Maybe kids have that. Because it just seems really odd that everybody didn't post on their Instagram or whatever pictures. So is this an unwritten code? You don't do that on these parties? Don't know.
What I would love to know. I guess they're going to have to figure out more about how this was truly organized. I don't know. Because not everybody there, if it's a mean girl situation or an accident, not everybody there is going to be radio silent. They're going to be like, I have nothing to do with this fun fight, as Fight Club Sammy calls it. I had nothing to do with whatever jealousy they had going on, and they would say something. So what the hell's going on?
Yeah, even if there was, I could see the town's kids all saying, oh no, I'm not posting anything. I could see that happen, but they said there was people from out of town. So where are those pictures? Like nothing has come up. It's been, how long has it been now? 2 weeks?
Today's 2 weeks. Today is 2 weeks. And you have a really good point. All these people that came from out of town, they're not like personal friends, you know? Right. It would be a bunch of strangers in a way partying.
Yeah, and you think they would send the police or somebody, or put it on social media, and just have to tag it with the town name. Somebody would come up with these. So maybe there was no one from out of town, and all these teenagers have been told, I guess, by their parents. I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking. At first, when they said some adults are telling the kids not to talk, I made the assumption, just having a discussion, that the adults were probably, well, the ones over 18, like Sammy. Just talk to me, don't talk to them. I'll tell them what they need to know. I was tripped up, tripped out, you name it, when Jagger came out and said, I'm taking tips, I'll filter them and give them to the sheriff. I still do not know why he said such a dumbass thing. Yeah. He wasn't even there. What's he going to filter? He wasn't there to even verify if what he was being told was true.
Yeah, like filter bullshit. You don't do that. Who the hell are you?
Yeah.
Like, come on. But that's, again, the youngness. I don't like saying immature. I mean youngness of these kids. Even a 22-year-old's a young kid, especially if they've lived at home. Do they do their own laundry? Come on. We know they don't. Probably most of them don't. I don't want to get bashed for that one.
It's a whole new level of narcissism I'm seeing with them. It really, really is. I don't believe for a minute they're that dumb. I really don't. This is something else. Sharon Neely, does anyone know for sure if AWP is there yet? If you look on the news, it was on my news last night. I took a picture and it's on the screen, Sharon.
I'm glad they're there. I got into this whole true crime thing from Adventures with Purpose. About 2.5 years ago, I started watching them on a Saturday. And you know how suggestions come up and say, if you like this channel, you might like this. And that's how I got onto your channel, Brooks.
Really?
So yeah, it was from watching Jared and them rescue, or not rescuing, doing cold cases and finding people. And I supported his channel for about 2.5 years ago. I started.
They are badass.
Oh yeah, I love the guys.
I need everybody's help with this because it keeps coming to me. Susan Innes said at Brooks, that's me. Kylie was supposed to be home at 11:30 p.m. curfew. When she messaged her mom, she was asking to extend her curfew to 12:30 a.m. Why am I getting so many conflicting stories about this? I don't understand what's going on. All right, so this is what we have. This is one of many articles. Around 12:15 a.m., she texted her parents that she was heading home. However, according to her mother, no one has come forward to say, so the text to mom, my understanding, there was also an earlier text to mom. I don't know if it said, I'm here now. Like I said, we're in the beginning of this case. I mean, we're not on day one, I get, but there's going to be a lot of, well, that was reported incorrectly. But mom has said this herself at 12:15. If they do a retraction, then we'll have to go back to the drawing board. I was under the assumption that because mom was explaining that the curfew was 12:30, and I had several comments saying no, she texted her mom, she was supposed to be home at 11:30, or the text was at 11:30. I'm not disputing a text at 11:30. I'm going off of what several news outlets have said. And mom, she got this text at 12:15. I hope if it's wrong, they need to retract it because time is very important in these cases. Time is extremely important. And Tough as Nails, thank you for becoming a new YouTube member. Thank you. Thank you. Hang on one second. Joy Catcher, who even knows if Kylie wanted to hang out there after Mags left with Ross? Her best friend leaves. Would she hang with basic strangers or new friends? You just blew my mind with that. She gets ditched by her friends. Mags is her BFF. Why would she just want to hang around a bunch of people that she's not tight with? Who else was there that made her stay?
Yeah, now I had a thought about that. I thought maybe someone, because Kylie had a car, maybe someone asked her if she could drive them home. And she might have hung around a bit, because we were always finding the people that had cars and then trying to get a ride home. So
but remember, don't forget, Sammy would never lie to us, right? Saint Sammy said, she was out of her mind drunk. So, but somehow in her inebriated mind, Kylie did the responsible thing and texted her mom. I am not convinced, and it's probably going to be a long time till I have the answer to my question, if Kylie sent that text at 12:15.
See, I didn't even think that maybe someone else had sent it. I just automatically went, okay, her mom got a text, okay. And I could see kids doing that. I'm not going to be home at the time. I'll be about 20 minutes late or half an hour. And hey, if they had a good relationship, that's a normal thing, I think, to happen.
Oh, absolutely. But then I go back to, like I said, in these cases, time is of the essence, very, very important. Big difference if the last text to mom was at, some say 11:15, some say 11:30, and phone goes off grid at 12:33 a.m. Huge difference between an hour or so lapsing and 18 minutes. All of these news reports say 12:15 a.m. Mom going to be late, however it was done. And then phone goes off grid at 12:33. It's going to be a while until we get the answer. I want to thank April for becoming a new YouTube member. You missed a great members live today. You see what I'm saying? I know you do. I shouldn't even ask that. Like, yeah, in the Wells case, we're talking a huge time gap. Anything could have happened in the Wells case. In this one, she's texting. 12:15. 12:15. Who sent that text? Morgan brought up a really good point. Somebody would have to have the passcode or use her face to get into it. Also, somebody would have to know her well enough to know she has a curfew.
Right. But do you really think some kid would do that?
Look at the Michaela Jones case.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's true.
Look at Michaela Jones.
Yeah. You know, you're right. I just hadn't gone there with my thoughts. Yeah.
Buckle up, buckle up.
I know.
Buckle up.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so I answered that for Susan. She said the curfew's 11:30. I heard 12:30. We're going to find out the exact, because I'm not just going to throw that side, be like, well, whenever her curfew is, it doesn't really matter. I know I'm going to get comments. It doesn't really matter what time she's going to get home, Brooks. What really matters is that she told her mom she was running late. And what's really important here, Brooks, is that Kylie's missing. I know. I'm talking about what led up to her missing. Amy Struckus said, with social media, if 200 to 300 kids showed up at this epic party, I love that wording, epic. Or I can go back to what Sammy says, overwhelming. Overwhelming. There would be more photos, videos, and interviews. Exactly. I think it was a popular gathering spot for local kids every weekend. So instead of an arranged party, it was kind of like where the kids gathered anyway. Yeah. This guy makes a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I told you before, my son, we grew up in a small town, and I remember hearing years later that everybody used to go to this, they called it the haunted house, but it was an old abandoned house in the middle of fields out here. You had to trek a mile to get to it. But apparently that was the big meeting spot in our town. We didn't know about it for years later. And when I asked my son, well, what did you do there and stuff? And he goes, oh, we just hang out. You know, somebody bring beer, somebody else would bring beer. And it was the spot. None of us parents knew about it. So, but they went there every weekend, every Friday and Saturday. They'd take a trek out there, see who was there. You know, they were walkers. They didn't drive at that time. Mm-hmm. Well, they could have, but they didn't. But yeah, we didn't know anything about it, anything at all. And of course, we never knew they were going there. They probably lied and said, oh, no, I'm going to my buddies. You know, we're watching a game or something, you know, as teenagers do.
Well, and I'm glad you brought that up, because in high school, we had our spot where the kids would go and meet. And there was a couple of times. Now, it wasn't overwhelming, as Sammy says, but the parents didn't really know to go and look. To be quite honest, they think we're hanging out at the Sonic, or we're, you know what I'm saying? You know, kids do things. And so that makes more sense to me, because JPL brought it up. Many of us brought it up. If they're having an end of the year senior graduation party and the parents are all aware, there's got to be, no matter how lax it is, because I understand I'm getting low vibration from a lot of people in this case, somebody would go check on their kids, unless it's just a local meetup spot that the kids go and hang out. I'm not saying that's what happened. It just makes sense. Thank you, Sandra. She said, I saw an interview with the mother yesterday. Yeah, we played it on here, where she said if you were in here, great. If not, you can rewatch it, where she said her normal curfew was 12:30. We got to get that cleared up.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what we'd heard. I think the first day we heard that it was 12:30. I don't remember the 11:30 coming in at all.
No, things, you know, a lot of information comes out all at once, and especially in this case, and it's easy to get it, you know. I think I played the interview like twice on there. I know it's on other channels. I get it. I got it. But I had it on here twice yesterday. And if you guys want, I can put it up separately for you. I don't have a problem with that at all. Or I can put it on the Facebook page, however y'all want it. But she said 12:30. So when I got that comment, I was like, hang on. I had to go and see if my ears deceived me, but they didn't. Okay, here's a theory. Crime Addict Lounge. What a cool name. Do you like that, Pat?
Mm-hmm. I wish mine was cool. I might change mine one day.
That's going to trip me up. She said, what if she did get home? Okay, people are still saying, hey, maybe she did get home. What if she did get home and they had an argument over, anything? Maybe because they realized she drove home drunk. Who knows? I don't know.
I don't even want to go there.
I know, girlfriend. You know what we do, though. You know what we do.
I know. I just, like, don't forget, I'm from Canada. We're the people that say sorry too much. I just can't. I don't even want to go there. I don't.
That is okay. Well, and we asked yesterday on the show, stepdad was on, the HLN interview with mom. And I just posed a question. Do we know where stepdad was that night? Someone had heard he was at the party.
Oh, yeah. See, I'm not even going to go there. I heard you pose that question. I thought, oh, don't go down that road. Don't. Like, I was just like, no, I can't even put that in my brain. I'm still working on, she probably gave someone a ride home. So she went a different way than she would normally go to her house.
Yep.
And so I was hoping Adventures with Purpose would sort of, and that's what they do. They would think obviously the same thing, or that's one of the possibilities, and look at different bodies of water. I'm thinking it was an accident if she was inebriated.
Yeah, I'm thinking there was an accident at the party and it got covered up. Jane's Blonde 007. Oh my God, please stop this. Welcome to the channel, Jane. Okay, so what we do is we discuss all different theories. We respect everyone's opinions, theories, speculations. And we're at the beginning of this case. We're just 2 weeks in and everything's a possibility. Never say never. We're only having a conversation. Welcome. Thank you. All right. I'm going to put on the News Nation clip. Hang on. CTA said stepdad was with mom. Where did you see that? That's what I want to know. But mom was back at home. And no, I'm not blaming mom and dad. I'm going over a comment from another person.
Yeah, we're just throwing things at the wall and, that's all we're doing. We just throw ideas out and we're just talking.
Thank you, JPL. Agree to disagree, but everybody's opinion is interesting to hear.
Yes.
No stone unturned. Welcome to the channel. Thank you, Morgan Leffy. Exactly. Did someone turn off the location on her phone? From what I understand, 12:33 a.m., it just went totally off grid. I don't know. I go back to Michaela Jones when her phone was finally found, because remember, Pat, Michaela's phone went straight dead. And it was beaten with a hammer. It was torched, you name it. All right, I'm going to get to this News Nation clip, and then we're going to talk about Sammy a little bit. Are you ready, Pat?
Go for it, hon.
And we got a couple people backstage. I'm going to let up to talk and let everyone get on with their weekend.
From Adventures with Purpose, part of the dive team that will be out there in the Prosser Creek Reservoir area tomorrow, searching for Kylie's car. Doug, thank you again for coming back and for what you and your team are doing. Law enforcement, we've heard in the last few days, week or so, they've scaled back their efforts in searching for Kylie. They've called you in. How did this all come about?
We have a large fan base and a support group all over the world. And, the call came through. We heard it loud and clear by thousands of requests. We are in communication with the Placer County Sheriff's Department. They're very happy in welcoming us in. We're going to utilize our unique skill set as well as the search tactics that we've developed that have made us successful.
What are those unique skills that you all bring?
We specialize particularly in sonar, underwater sonar search and recovery, particularly in finding vehicles underwater.
And you have been successful in the past in many cold cases. We've talked to you about that here on the program, Doug. The Prosser Creek Reservoir, what do you know about this particular waterway? What you'll encounter tomorrow? How deep is it? How murky is it?
Visibility isn't that bad. I have intel on that so far. We know we're working with a max depth of right around 55 to 60 feet, which is, right in our wheelhouse. It's nothing normal than any other. It's nothing different than any other case that we take on. We're going to come in, we're going to utilize those search tactics that we've developed, and we're going to start at square one and work our way out. And we're not going to leave any inch of water uncovered.
The only difference here is you guys generally focus on cold cases, cases that are years old, that don't have the resources that Kylie's case has had. This is an active, ongoing search. Do you approach that any differently?
Slightly differently, yes. Yeah, obviously this takes a lot of cooperation with the local authorities and multiple agencies because of the climate surrounding the resources that are involved. But outside of that, no, we've developed a unique search tactic that helps us. It's very successful. It's helped us solve over 23 cases within the last 2 years. So we're going to stick to exactly what we know.
How do you prepare for tomorrow in terms of equipment, the sonar equipment that you'll be using, the technology, how big of a space that you'll be looking?
We're going to use our sonar equipment. We're using cutting edge Garmin sonar technology. We're going to be utilizing 2 boats in all the different waterways we're going to be in, and we're going to stay with our tight, efficient team of 6 people. And we're going to do what we do. We're going to be working very hard. We're going to try our best to fly under the radar. There's a lot of eyes on this, so we're going to try to do our best to stay focused and not get sidetracked with any of the other mess that's going on around.
We hear so often from families that you guys give hope, in many cases, closure. Have you spoken with Kylie's family ahead of the search to kind of prepare them for what you guys will be doing?
I have spoken with her extended family, yes. And this case, you hit it right on the nose. It's different from what we normally work with. Typically, we're working cases that are 20 and 30 years old. This case, I can tell you, although we're going to come in and we're going to work it really hard, I don't want to be successful. I hope and I pray, and I hope everybody else is praying that, that Kylie is found and found safe. The biggest thing in all of this is she was at a party that had 200 to 300 people. Someone knows something. And that's a really accurate assessment to make.
Obviously, protecting the integrity of your investigation, working with local law enforcement. How closely are you in contact with the authorities on the scene that are doing the search on the ground and that have been in the water?
Extremely close.
Can you elaborate?
I cannot elaborate any further than that, but I can tell you, our search information is going to be aligned with their search information and communicating every step of the way.
Yeah, I hear you. Doug, the primary focus is obviously Kylie's case right now, and keeping her face in the headlines, but it's not the only missing person in this area. Tell me about some of the other cases as you guys are in this reservoir.
Yeah, so we were working the other couple that was missing as well. However, they were just located. Our next case that we will be working is Jolissa Fuentes, 22 years old, who disappeared with her vehicle in Selma, California. And she's been missing for several weeks as well, without a trace.
Well, I agree. I hope you're unsuccessful tomorrow in your search. I hope nothing comes up in that water and the search for Kylie continues. Doug Bishop with Adventures with Purpose. We'll be following very closely. I know you all provide updates on your Facebook and your other social media accounts. Our best to you and your team tomorrow. Be safe.
Okay, great guys. And I think we can all share the same sentiments. We hope it's unsuccessful. A lot of people have said, I think they're going to find the phone. I think they're going to find the car and not Kylie, because that's always been the big thing for me anyhow, is the whole damn car's missing. The whole car.
Yeah, that's very unusual. But I agree with, they find the car and they're going to find something. If it's not Kylie, they're going to, how can a car get in the water without her? Then we're really looking at the bad crap.
Then we're looking at someone push that car in the water. Exactly. I'm going to address a couple of comments real quick and then get to Sammy, Sammy, can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me. North Jim said, is it true Sammy and Kylie shared a drink? According to Saint Sammy, yes. Here we go. Sammy told ABC News, she's talking about Kylie, she was having a fun time at a party, just being a teenager. Sammy told ABC News during an interview, everything she drank, I drank out of. And there was nothing that seemed odd about her. Off about her, I apologize. Of course, later we hear that Kylie was too drunk to drive Sammy home.
Yeah.
So, according to Sammy, not only did they share a drink, Sammy drank out of everything. Everything she drank, I drank out of. So then Sammy wouldn't have anything strange in her system, correct? So yeah, North, that's what we know on that.
Yeah, that was an odd comment for Sammy to make. I don't know why she did. I maybe she was trying to help, but I don't know. It just seems odd to me.
Yeah, well, Sammy, I tell you what Sammy did. This is what Sammy has accomplished. Sammy.
This is the reason your Android phone is so slow.
Oh, sorry.
I'm going to show you.
Uh-oh.
If your Android phone.
Uh-oh. Now we lost Pat. Uh-oh. She'll hop back up. Let me see if I can get her back up here. What Sammy did is she interfered with the police investigation. She interfered with a police investigation. CTA, thank you for the super sticker. Pics. If they partied there every weekend, then where are those pics? What about pics from previous graduations? Do they exist? Especially if it's an annual party. We heard another rumor. Rumors. Was Sammy in them? There seemed to be no pics from any time in that location. There's got to be something else, even from a different day. I agree, from that location. How you doing, Pat? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I started my other phone and I think it clicked me off this one. I was trying to do too many things at once. Go ahead.
You're a multitasker. We've got Jason backstage. I'm going to bring him up because see what he's got to say about this. Then I've got some points I want to make about Sammy. And then our disruptor we had in chat yesterday. The FBI was called on this gentleman, so we will, or lady, we don't know. We're going to get to that. Hello, Jason. Nice to meet you.
How you doing? Hold on,
Hi, Jason.
How you doing? Well, I put this on All Americans live stream. I asked it. The black sweater. We don't know who gave that to her. There's nobody saying where that sweater came from. But
Her
the thing
mother
is,
did. Her mother did. Her mother said that that's a friend's hoodie, the black one, right?
yes, ma'am. But the lyric that was on that sweater is what's throwing me off is the lyrics that were on that sweater.
Yes. Both of them. Both hoodies she had on that night have, considering the situation we're talking about right now, Jason, you're exactly right.
Exactly.
Odd.
The lyrics and then the white and pink one, that one right there. Yeah. Look at what the lyrics say on it, and then all of a sudden she comes up missing.
Mm-hmm.
Who would give somebody something like that if, in my opinion, they don't know what happened? If it was was the friend with her that night that gave her that sweater? We don't know if the person that gave her that sweater was there with her at the party.
I think that, let me see what law enforcement says about the hoodies. Hang on. And for those that ask, why are the hoodies a big deal? Well, what a missing person has on when they disappear is a huge deal. That's a huge deal. And also Sammy being the all-knowing, not mentioning, she knew that she had snaps in the crotch because she had a bodysuit on, but not that she had on a black hoodie, then switched to a white hoodie, or vice versa. That's big. That is big.
And when did she? And then, but But another question that I have is, and that I'm not understanding it, when during the night did she switch from one sweater to the other sweater?
We have no idea because the kids didn't even say anything about them. So we don't know. We don't know why she even switched them. We don't know if the girl she borrowed the black one from or the white one from, I don't know, said, hey, I'm getting ready to leave. Can I get that back? It would make sense to me that Mag's hoodie and 10-minute Mag said, hey, I'm leaving. And she's like, oh, let me give you your hoodie. I'm just going over something logical. But as we know, in cases where something bad could have been going on, logical is not probable. So here is what law enforcement says. If you're keeping up with our posts and pressers, you'd know that Kylie was loaned the black hoodie on August 5th. I'm going to assume at the party, unless it's Kate's and she borrowed it during the day when they were making creme brulee. Today, we learned there was a video of Kylie at the party wearing the white sweatshirt, hoping this can lead to more info about where Kylie may have gone after the party.
And I have her timeline from Fox News. I have it pulled up, and it said that it's saying that she texted her mom at 11:30, saying she was going to leave. She was leaving the party in 45 minutes, which would have made it she was leaving at 12:15. If she
that's another indiscrepancy. Because I just put this up. Her mom, I played the HLN interview yesterday where she said she got the text at 12:15. And then right here, I think this Fox News or CBS, around 12:15 a.m. If you look at the first paragraph, she texted her parents that she was heading home. However, according to her mother, no one has come forward. So the text, according to her mom, the interview I played yesterday, she got a text at 12:15. Then the phone goes radio silent at 12:33.
12:33. It was the last. They're saying that was the last ping that they had was by the at the party. It was right by the water. They said the last ping came from right by the water. So if that last ping came from right by the water, somebody else had her phone, in my opinion. Somebody texted her mom that. In my opinion, according to this, she'd already been drinking, according to her friend. She'd already had a lot to drink, supposedly before that text hit from her mom to her mom.
I agree with you because I said it. Well, I've been saying it for days. Say it again. I believe it
was one of her friends that had her phone. Honestly, and that's just my opinion. I believe it was somebody that could have gotten in her phone, had her information for her phone, somebody she trusted enough to give her information to her phone to get in her phone. And that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
That a friend had her phone, texted her mother everything that was on the text message.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. I said it's going to be a long time. I totally agree with you. It's going to be a long time till I get the answer. I know that for sure. I'm not convinced Kylie sent that text at 12:15.
It says right here, it says, Rodni texts her mom around 11:30 p.m. saying she was planning on leaving campground around 12:15. And then it goes down and says, I asked her to be safe. Her mom's now saying this to her in the text message. I asked her to be safe. Robin's mother, Lindsay Neiman Rodni, told Fox News in an interview Friday. And that was the last time she texted me. That was according to her mom, what she told Fox News.
And then on HLN yesterday, we were watching the interview. I played it twice. Mom said she got the text at 12:15. Are we seeing a problem here? Either we have bad reporting or we're not remembering times. I don't know. I'm not throwing shade either way, but time is super important because
time is the most within 48 hours. Within 48 hours of a person coming up missing is the most key time to find them within the first 48 hours.
Yep, and we're 2 weeks in, my friend.
And now we're almost 2 weeks in, like with the Summer Wells case, we're over a year in, and that little girl hasn't still been found.
I know, I talk about her every day too.
Ryan Upchurch, another thing with Ryan Upchurch, that was a case he talked about. Why is everybody so against Ryan Upchurch talking about these cases? Ryan Upchurch, yes, he has a massive 3 million subscriber platform.
Mm-hmm.
He has that.
I don't
He's
see
getting
why
the
anybody would
information out, and he's keeping these girls' names, and he's keeping them out there where they will not become cold cases. And I agree with what Ryan's doing. I've been a part of Ryan's crew, his channel for almost 4 years now. And this is the first time I've ever seen him get real involved with the cold case community. And he's wanting you guys to keep these kids' name out here, a 6-year-old and a 16-year-old. And in both locations now, there have been, in my opinion, trafficking cases bad. In Tennessee, where Summer Wells came up missing, trafficking was real bad there. Now that I'm hearing in California, where Kylie was from, bad trafficking there. I'm not saying that she was trafficked. I'm just saying look at the picture of where this has happened.
Well, I'm not going to throw any shade at someone that's keeping a missing person's name out there.
I'm not either, but there have people that have been doing that.
Oh, no, I got you. I'm just saying don't have to worry about that here.
I'm just saying for the people that do, please stop, because that man's trying to help these cases out by keeping their name out there.
Yeah, but when it comes down to it, we're all humans and everybody has their favorite flavor of ice cream. If they
And
don't
their
like
opinion, it's their opinion.
like it.
I get that. I get that. It's their opinion. It's only their opinion. But here it says on the 6th, it says hold on, let me go back up. It says Rodni speaks with friends and family shortly after midnight, according to authorities. And then it goes down to say her phone turns off. How do they know her phone turned off?
I just heard it went off grid at 12:33 a.m.
And this is what it says here. It says her phone turns off around 12:33 a.m. that morning. It last pinged near the Prosper Family Campground within Tahoe National Forest before it turned off. Placer County officials said. And this is from the Fox News, the timeline that the Fox News had. And then the 16-year-old family lives around 10 miles away from the campground. So she only lived 10 miles from the campground. So it's not that far what you were saying earlier. Did she make it home? Because she only lived 10 miles from there. It's not like she lived further than that.
Nope, she didn't live that far from home. I think 12 miles at the most. And if you look at the screen, that's from law enforcement. Their timeline is 6:08 p.m. on the 5th to 12:33. They know there was no activity on that phone. They have ways of checking. I don't know exactly what process they used. That phone was nada after 12:33 a.m. And said,
they could go to, if they find out what carrier she had, if they find out what carrier that she has on that phone, they can go to the carrier and get text messages and everything off of through the carrier. All they got to do is say they're doing a missing persons report investigation, and they can get it from the carrier that she has.
Yep, I think that was probably one of the very first things they did when they realized that they couldn't find her. But I've got some other people backstage I'm going to bring up, so hang around. I'll see you in chat in the comments. It was nice meeting you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks, Jason.
Hey, Morgan, you were backstage saying something. You sent me a message about the hoodies. You're saying it's a big deal that obviously Sammy didn't say anything about the wardrobe change, but you're saying these hoodies are pretty common. Go ahead. Sorry.
Hi. Sorry I was so late as well. I was just having dinner. Yeah, those hoodies definitely are common. I know a lot of people my age and around my age have them, especially the Tyler the Creator one, which is the white one.
Okay.
That one particularly is everywhere. Now,
when Upchurch was on the panel Thursday, he said it's a guy's hoodie.
Well, it might have been made for a guy, but girls buy the guys' ones too.
Oh, okay. See, you're helping us, Morgan.
It might have been a guy's hoodie, but I wouldn't have said that just because it's a guy's cut of the hoodie or whatever that it was a guy's.
And just to end the argument about the hoodies, I'm really not going to get too much into the sayings, although it is pretty eerie, not going to lie. But what a missing person might have on is a big deal. You're not going to find a missing persons poster that doesn't say this is what they were wearing last time they were seen.
I honestly, sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
I honestly don't think what was on the hoodie has absolutely anything to do with what happened at all. It's a horrible coincidence. It's weird, but I honestly don't think that it had anything to do with what happened.
Very strange coincidence to me. Misty, would a guy wear a hoodie with flowers on it? Sorry, Misty, we're talking about the white one with the pink writing, not the Lana Del Rey. I've got to be more specific. The hoodies are really pissing me off. You got to be real specific about the hoodies around here. You know? Got to be real specific. So, word on the street is Sammy and her parents last Monday left the state. My immediate assumption was going off to college. Turns out it was an unexpected trip. I don't know. What is this? Brooke, what do you look like? What? I have red hair. Well, come to Members Live. I'm on camera. Let me see. Here it is. So San Francisco investigates. This is kind of a two-part conversation we're going to have. The silence about Kylie Rodni is deafening. An about face from @PlacerSheriff. It's been noted in different groups, and that basically the search is stopped, except for Adventures with Purpose. They're there. An about face from @PlacerSheriff. I've been here since Monday. No helicopter searching, no ground searches, only 2 divers, no answers. No proof of at least the car at the party. That's what I'm wondering too. Law enforcement has confirmed they know she was at the party. They've never mentioned her car. I don't know that anyone has come straight out and asked them. Maybe we'll give them a tweet today. He says they have lost control of the narrative. Then it continues. Nobody from the party is talking, maybe because there's nothing to speak about. He said, I have searched all day, every day, and not seen one law enforcement or friend searching since Monday. In a bizarre twist, front person Sammy and her parents suddenly and unexpectedly left California on Monday. I thought, well, she's probably going to college or something. Maybe they had a vacation planned. That's not what several of the locals are saying. They're like, no, this was kind of an abrupt leave. Now, maybe it could be they were afraid to be there when Adventures with Purpose got there. It might be something that would upset Sammy if they found something. I don't know, but they're not in the state. They left.
That sort of shocks
Sorry,
me.
to me, that's so.
Go ahead, ladies.
Go ahead, Morgan.
It seems to me. Sorry, it is very Brian Laundrie of them, in my mind.
Oh, Morgan went there. Damn, Morgan.
I don't think that she did anything necessarily. Other people do, but I don't think. I mean, I'm not sure, but obviously, but I'm not convinced that she actually did something. But I also think it's not great for her that she's left and fled. It seems Brian Laundrie-like to me.
Morgan pulling out all the true crime trivia today. Yeah, it wouldn't be too hard to figure out if it was time for her to go to school or whatever. not going to obviously say who the person is, but they said, no, they up and left. And I've asked several times, I'm like, why did the parents sit back? Okay, supposedly one's an attorney, one's a private investigator, while Sammy put herself in the forefront. I'm going to organize searches. It's not official if it's not on our website. No, I can tell you for sure, she said, that's not her tank top. I can tell you that. Even though law enforcement never said, there was a black tank top floating around the internet, a picture, and she was, I can tell you for sure it's not. Okay, then she explained the bodysuit with the snaps and the crotch. They peed together, all of that. I gave that one to her. So I asked everybody, I'm like, why would her parents let her impede an investigation? Why would they let their daughter put herself in any potential danger, really, by being the front woman and organize searches, hand out flyers? She's in front of the microphone all the time. We got the death glare. When they were at the community meeting several times. I mean, anyone that was getting ready to pose a question, she'd look at them like, what is she going to ask? What's going on? Not saying that Sammy did anything. Now they're out of town. The answer I've gotten about the parents is they didn't really pay attention to what Sammy was doing. She runs the house. Sammy can do whatever she wants to do. This is a different story. This isn't Sammy piercing her ears. This is a totally different story. There's a missing girl. Kylie's missing. Not only is Sammy putting herself in the forefront, she's placing herself as the only person that can know what could happen to her. She's the last call and the person that knows everything that happened. Then I heard, well, it's because her parents are older. They're like in their 70s, I heard. I don't care if they're as old as Moses. The older we get, the wiser we are. They knew their daughter was doing something that's not cool. Not cool. What are your thoughts on that, ladies?
I think her parents took her out so she'd be quiet. Took her out of the city, country, whatever. I was thinking at the very beginning with her first interview, Sammy's, I was thinking it's possible she did that without her parents' knowledge. And they possibly found out later. Much later.
A week later, it's all the talk of the town. It's on my news. Yeah, I'm way, way, way away from Northern California. It's on Good Morning America. It's on the Today Show, News Nation. It was on NBC Nightly News last night. They knew.
I was going to say, if they didn't know, more fool them, because I'm sorry, as soon as you hear there's a missing person and it's supposedly your daughter's best friend, why would you let your daughter normally if someone was missing their best friend, they'd be absolutely besides themselves anyway. So I don't really understand how they wouldn't have known.
Yeah, good point. But I don't really think she was Kylie's best friend. I think I think she embellished that a little bit. Maybe she wanted the attention, unfortunately.
Oh, I think she was definitely lapping up the attention. I do think it's odd that all at once the kids went silent. That was really a bad day for me. They just all at once went silent. I don't think law enforcement would tell them to quit talking. Keep talking. They're begging. They're begging for information. Even if they have to sift through their bullshit, they're going to find the truth in there somewhere. So I'm just wondering, did they take her out so she's not so accessible to law enforcement? I've got a problem with that.
Yeah, that is yeah.
I think so. I think that.
With her mother being a lawyer, I would expect her to have gotten to her daughter and said, shut up. Mm-hmm. I would have expected that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, 2 weeks later, taking off with her, maybe she's having a hard time. Maybe she's having a bit of a breakdown, Sammy. Who knows, right? Who knows?
if she is, that makes her a bit more human to everyone else, because before this she's been nothing.
Yeah, she was a bit of a non-emotional.
Maybe it took a while to actually hit her, and maybe she was running on adrenaline, who knows, but it was strange to me how there was no emotion at all.
Cold as ice. Cold as ice.
Yeah. And usually, I mean, not that guys don't get emotional, but a lot of girls, younger girls, you know, they freak out. And she definitely was not a freaker. Yeah, I remember that picture, Brooks.
Definitely.
I remember. I was listening when JPL asked somebody, and I believe she was there, about the parking, and I could tell the difference in her voice. It went right down, and I immediately picked up on that and thought, oh, why doesn't she want to talk about the parking?
Of all things for kids, parking situations are something that an adult would think about. Where the hell did you park? Kids aren't going to think that's not something that would be of importance to them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that really caught her off guard. She wasn't liking that. And you can see in this picture, you know, death glare. I mean, this lady's got the microphone. She's talking and she's looking at her like, what is she? Or don't you say it. Don't you say it. What is she going to ask? Nobody else cares. They're looking straight ahead. Now there's a lady in the front row. She's kind of looking behind her who's talking. Not Sammy.
Yeah. 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 It's a bit of an odd one to insert herself into all of this.
Really odd.
Angel just said, I heard Sammy's parents are in their 50s, not 70s. Go figure. Go figure. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah. Goodness. She's ice cold. I'm telling you, she is. But I just think I think it's freaking weird that you get up and you leave the state when this is going on. You had yourself neck deep implanted. You jumped right in the deep end head first, not even knowing if you were going to hit your head on a rock, and now you're out of the state. But Adventures with Purpose is they're searching for Kylie right now.
Thank God for that. It really does terrify me, though, about the Adventures with Purpose. I was thinking about it all night last night.
It's nerve-rattling. I mean,
because whatever they find isn't going to be good. Like, if they find nothing, it's not good. If they find one thing, it's not good. If they find her and the car, it's not good. If they find just the phone, it's not good. None of it's good.
They're such stand-up dudes too. I loved when Doug was talking to the reporter, and he's you know, he doesn't want to find her. He hopes she's out there somewhere alive, obviously.
I don't like to say it, but I think they're going to find her. I really, like, if I go with a timeline from 12:15 as being the last communication, then her phone goes off at 12:33 or something, that's a possibility of going into a body of water. You know, she could have left right after the text at 12:15 or something. And there's 20 minutes.
But at the same time as that, then surely there'd be track marks in something leading into the water if they've checked all of that. I'm not sure, but I would have thought
there has been other Adventures with Purpose videos that we've seen, or cold cases, where they've had pictures and they've had police talking about they never saw tire tracks, and yet these guys have found the cars right off of an area where no one did see tire tracks. So it has happened. That's all I'm saying. It has happened. Not that the police aren't checking good enough, but you know, stranger things have happened, is I guess what I mean.
People keep saying what's that girl's name from Stranger Things? What's it? Miley.
11.
What's her name? What's the girl from Stranger Things? The one that
Millie
plays
Bobby Brown.
Millie Bobby Brown. Yeah, somebody keeps saying we have Millie Bobby Brown in the house. Are they talking about you, Morgan, or you, Pat?
I don't know. I can't see the chat when you're on stream.
I love that. I love that show, by the way. I love that show. We need the kids from Stranger Things. They would have whipped the dog shit out of Sammy. She wouldn't have had a prayers, a snowball's chance in Florida if the kids from Stranger Things were here.
Well,
I've never seen it.
Yeah, get that crew out there.
And I don't want to forget to say thank you so much to JPL for driving around. I just love her for doing that. Thank you so much.
Oh my God, she is our rock star.
What a sweetheart.
Morgan sounds exactly like Millie Bobby Brown.
Is it? I think just because I'm English.
Morgan also makes like wedding cakes, like cake art. You wouldn't believe the cakes she makes.
Oh. Haven't seen your pictures, Morgan. Are they in Discord?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go have a look.
She is awesome sauce. All right. So switch the topic again. So we know Sammy skated town. All right. Adventures with Purpose is there. We're caught up on that part. Still don't know where the hell Kylie is. Yesterday in chat, a gentleman was in here. Gonna assume it's a guy. You never know who's behind the keyboard, but it is a real person, which is disgusting that these people lurk in our society. Okay. He was in chat yesterday. He hasn't graced us with his presence yet. So you can go re-listen to the show and look at the live chat. I never take the live chats down. Sometimes they take a day or two for whatever reason to pop up. YouTube is pissing everybody off lately. Anyway, so his name is Ramon. Ramon was in, had a lot of people saying, hang on, English is not his first language.
Sorry, it was cracking me up.
I was like, we were trying to be as polite as possible and say, come on up, Ramon. Ramon claimed, refresh my memory, Morgan, he was at the party. That was one thing, right, Morgan?
Oh, he was at the party. Mm-hmm. He's been swimming in the lake on nice days.
Nice days.
Yeah, all sorts. He saw smoke by the lake.
He saw smoke by the lake. Yeah, avid swimmer and was at the party. I was curious, well, were you swimming while the party was going on? I mentioned that everybody was wearing hoodies, so it looked a little chilly to me. He said it didn't seem cold to him or something like that, but said he was at the party.
And in the lake and seeing smoke all at the same time.
Yes. So after he got done having fun with us, he went over to old Don B, our neighbor on the YouTube streets, nice guy. And he goes in his comments, Ramon Casanova. What a Casanova he is. He says, I have Kylie in my room.
I mean, what would possess someone to even say something like that, let alone post it?
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't even spell her name right.
Right.
What an idiot you are, Ramon. So Ramon does this after he causes havoc in our chat. And if you notice how our moderators are, the mod squad, the best on YouTube, they don't have heavy wrenches. You know what I mean? So when someone's playing a game like this, which by the way is a very serious game, we just let them burn out their tank, if you know what I mean. So like I said, he goes over and visits good old Don B after he tells us he was at the party and he likes to swim out there. He knows the area. He lives there. You name it. Cal Ward said that's why he posted it, spelled her name different. Oh. Like I said, he tells us all this information yesterday afternoon. Then he pops over to Don B. Now it's interesting. You said he didn't even spell her name right. So I guess when the FBI kicks in his damn door and goes through his entire house and anywhere he could be or he's visited, what's he going to say? Oh, it's a different Kylie in my room?
Idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. Well, I hope they kick his door in.
Well, they have to. They have to, because let's say a crime regarding Kylie's disappearance, not the underage drinking, all that stuff that the police already said they don't care about.
Right.
If a crime was committed, something nefarious, Mean Girls Gone Wild, the fake fight, an OD that was covered up, ran off the road, trafficked across the world, like Sammy said, any of these bad things, when it comes down to the end and you have a jury of 12 people and they're saying, over here, this is who did it, and the defense stands up and says, well, what about this guy Ramon that said he had Kylie in his room? He told crime lines and lies and they didn't believe him. Then he hopped over to Don B. Well, you're going to have at least one juror go, well, hang on, who's Ramon? And was Kylie really with him? Now we have some reasonable doubt. This had to be investigated. Don B turned this over. So did many others. They're aware of what he said in my chat yesterday afternoon. And they're aware of the comment he left on Don B's. Now, what they do with this from here on out, we don't know. No one's going to call us and say, hey, by the way, I took a selfie with Ramon. He's actually a cool kid. Doesn't work that way. But they will investigate this, which slows the process. I know some people were like, don't be so dramatic, Brooks. He's just a troll. He's just trolling you. Haven't you ever been trolled before, Brooks? Yes, I have. That's not the point.
Well, let's hope he's still there when they knock the door in and he's not gone swimming. That'd be a shame.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe he's a 12-year-old and lives with his parents.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
No, parents are getting ready to get their house remodeled by the FBI then.
Yeah.
Or whatever law enforcement agencies assigned to it. It has to be followed up on. We have Amy backstage. Let's say hi to our new friend, Amy. Amy, nice to meet you. How are you?
I'm good. How are you ladies today?
Pretty good,
Very good. Hi, Amy.
Hi. I've been watching this from the very, very beginning, and I'm in agreement with all of you. So,
So what do you think's going on, my friend?
I absolutely think Sammy is the head honcho. I think that this is my feelings. It's been my gut feelings. I think from the very first time I saw her speak, there was something about her that put me off really bad, like to where physically ill almost watching her act. It's just my feelings. I pray, that I'm not right, but I feel like she was set up somehow. I think there was jealousy somehow. I don't know if it was she had a crush on Kylie, if it was she had a crush on a boy, Jagger, if it was they're not close. They're not what she is claiming. I don't believe they are what Sammy is claiming that they are. I don't feel like they're that close. I think
you're thinking more Mean Girl?
I do think more Mean Girl. And I don't think it was spur of the moment. I feel like it was. I know that sounds like that's a lot to put on as everyone wants to say, a child. I don't believe that she could cover a car in a crime like that by herself.
No.
I do think she probably got her parents involved, and it was probably after the fact. And I know I'm saying a lot of ifs. It's just it's my feeling, and I may be completely off.
Just your opinion. We're having a conversation.
I feel like that's that's my feelings on it. I think that she probably got her parents involved. Why they didn't stop her from talking afterwards, I don't know. Being that, the line of work that they're in, their business, I don't know. But maybe they have found that by hiding, you look more guilty. So she thought, I'll go out and put my face, in the public. And I know Kylie's mom trusts her, believes in her. But, if any of you have watched, I'm sure you all have watched a lot of crimes like the Skylar niece and many, many others. It's been done many times, and those girls were a lot younger than these girls.
Yeah. Yeah. And Mags' sister was one of the first ones to say they're not that good of friends.
They're not that good. I read a whole thing. I'm literally up all night and all day. It's all I do. And they said that, I don't remember where I saw it. I believe it was Mags' sister as well. And she said that they were only party friends, that they never had hung out. That's why there's no pictures of them on, anything. That's why they don't follow each other, because they had never hung out, and that they were party buddies. They'd see each other with mutual friends at parties and things, and they knew each other from the group, but that they had never hung out, and they were not friends. They were party buddies. So that would give Sammy a little more reason why at the end of the night, if you wanted to look at it that way, that why she just up and left and didn't really care, because they were just party buddies and she didn't feel responsible for her. But it does not make sense why she jumped feet first into the middle of this investigation, coming off like she's one of her best friends. Even if she never said she's her best friend, she's sure coming off like she's close to Kylie.
I would have understood it from the get if she would have been like, well, I was at the party too. I don't know her that well. We're more like acquaintances, but I just want to do what I can do to get the word out. Absolutely. I would have got it. I'd have been like, good for this girl. Good for her. Might have in my true crime mind been like, but are you really? Yeah. But the reminds me of Reese Witherspoon in that movie Election.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
was it a crime movie?
No, not really a crime movie, but just the in the middle of everything.
Okay. Well, I have watched, I think every YouTube case on it. I've read every article. I've watched everything on Facebook. I'm trying to keep up with it. I'm not working right now, so I'm literally in this. And I was up till 5:30 last night watching the read on her. Have you seen that KK? Oh my gosh, have you seen the KK Pierce psychic? And I don't know how you feel about psychics. I fully say probably 99% of them are fake, but I do believe that there are a few that have a gift.
Oh yeah, some definitely have a gift. I got a bunch of people popping in backstage.
Hope they're not one to jump on me.
No,
I'm the girl coming. No, but she does it for free. She does charge for like one-on-one, just people that want to talk, to their passed on loved ones. But for any families with missing or lost or questions, she does it for free, and she just volunteers it. And let me tell you, she did it like 9 days ago, and she, in my opinion, was dead on with the things she was saying.
Well, I guess we're all psychics too, because we pretty much all say probably in the water.
Yes.
In a house somewhere. Looks like the friends weren't very good friends. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Some have really, they seem very intuitive, and some it's like, now I would rather talk to Miss Cleo from the 90s.
Exactly. Call 1-800 or 1-900 and $20 a bit. But what's really, really, really strange, and that's what I started to say, was I've watched everything. I may have missed it, but has Sammy ever once said, I'm sorry, I should not have left her, I feel bad? That's not taking the blame for what happened. It's just a normal thing to say. I'm sorry that I shouldn't have left her. That was my bad, my mistake. I wish I hadn't done that. She hasn't said that.
No, it was actually worse. She kind of pinned it on Kylie, if you think about it. She's a smart girl. I knew she'd figure it out. She kind of pinned it on her. She
doesn't know her that well. Like our close friends. You know who said it? It was not Meg. It was not Meg's sister. It was Kate Kuno. Mm-hmm. She has talking to a YouTuber somewhere. This was not on YouTube, but somebody posted the conversations in Messenger or text that they were doing between this person and Kate Kuno. And Kate was the one that said, the girl asked her, do you think it was strange that, it seemed strange to me that she would party with her all night and then just leave her. Does that seem strange to you? After a few other questions. And Kate said, absolutely, it's strange. And Kate said they were not friends. They never hung out. They were party buddies. They knew each other through the group, and they would probably have hung out at the party, but they were not friends. So anything Sammy says, she does not know her that way. She doesn't know how smart she is. Not literally. We all know she's smart because she graduated at 16, but you know what I mean? She doesn't know her street smarts and all that.
Sammy's full of shit.
She is full
of shit. And if you're new to this channel and you've seen, all the other cases that we follow, we have something called Opposite Day.
Okay.
And if the truth is in there somewhere, we've done it quite often with the Summer Wells case. We're like, it's in there somewhere. We have to sift through what they want us to believe. So there's something they want us to believe. So it's kind of like a magician. You're watching the trick, but the magic's going on somewhere else. The trick is somewhere else. There's a deflection.
That's right. And narcissistic or psychotic, I don't know the word psychotic, people really truly believe they're smarter than everyone. So people say their defense is going to be, she's 18, she's a child. Why would she, all the FBI agents are behind her, the police and blah, blah, blah. You know what? Truly narcissistic, sicko people think they're smarter than everyone. I don't care if you're 12, 15 or 50. They just believe they're schmoozing everyone. And she comes off like that. And she has to me from day one. I honestly am glad that she's gone right now because I've been relieved not seeing her up in the public eye all the time. And I'm sure the police probably, I guess, would know where she's gone, or they'd be really after her.
No, not necessarily. And that always freaks me out. I always wonder because we don't know they haven't said that they believe a crime was committed yet.
No,
nobody's been charged with anything. Nobody's on the government watch list or anything, but it damn sure raises a red flag because I said, oh, she probably went to college. I'm trying to play nice in the sandbox here.
Yeah.
It was abruptly.
It was abruptly. And damn well, as far as she's up in this involvement, she would have said that. She didn't have to say what college she was going to. We don't even know if she was going to college. She doesn't come. I don't know. Kylie was going to go somewhere or do something. And maybe a lot of the other people at the party were, but we don't even know if, not everybody graduates and goes to college. Some just stay home. I think that, we don't even know that. I think that she would have said that. I don't know. What did she say a few days ago? I just want Kylie to know that I'm looking for her and I'll never stop looking for her. And even if I have to go somewhere, I won't. I'll come back and I'll keep looking for her. It's like she didn't say I have to go off to school in a few weeks, but I'm going to stay back and keep looking for her. She just said if I had to go off, I would come back.
Well, then why isn't she halfway around the world looking for her, like she said?
Yep.
Then why isn't she? Are they on a plane? Are they on the way to the Philippines? What direction did they go? From what I'm understanding, they packed up their car and took off. According to Sammy, she's halfway around the world. Sammy?
Yep. Is that where you're going? and another thing is I lost my train of thought, but it was on that about, I can't remember. I don't know. I just watching her, like I said, never apologizing for what she's done, for the fact she's never showed. I don't know if anyone on here right now is from that town, but it comes off as almost not in the sense of Stepford Wives, but it comes off almost like a cultic little hidden town where everybody keeps everything quiet. Because if we're all crime lovers, I watch these things all the time unfold. How many parties where illegal drugs, illegal activities going on where younger people are involved and something happens, people still talk. They may not be real happy to do it, but I've never heard a silence code go over an entire town like it has here. It's almost like the police are silent about it. Everyone's silent about it.
And I don't get that at all. Several people that have been there, they're like, dude, I'm getting a Twin Peaks vibe. Amy, I appreciate you coming up and sharing your thoughts with us. I think we're all pretty much in the same boat.
Yes. I appreciate you allowing me to come in. I listened to you the other day and I listened to you for a while and I'm like, yeah, I found my group that
you found your people.
I found my
your people.
But you know what? To be honest, most of the people on here around I'm seeing are all kind of believe in the same thing.
It's kind of hard not to see the writing on the wall without accusing anybody of anything.
That's right. It's impossible not to see the red flags. And I do feel sorry for her mother. I feel like her mother is kind of like going back to the little girl. I said her name, Skylar Reese. You know, that little girl pretty much, and she was like 12, I think, pretty much moved in with the family, was going into Reese's room, crying in her room. Her mom was coming in and consoling her, and she was all part of the helping out, look for her. And she had everything to do with her murder. She murdered her.
Terrible. I remember that case. Terrible. When I first heard about this, I was like, she probably went off the road. I assumed there was like a cliff or something. And as more unfolded, especially when I started hearing from Sammy and Mags, I'm like, then when I heard about the 12:30, a bunch of kids leaving at once, the 12:33, the phone going off, I went to the Michaela Jones case, and I'm like, they covered somebody might have covered something up. An accident happened. Sammy is the one that, drilled it in everyone's head. These kids are too scared. These kids are scared to tell their parents.
Hey, come to me. I mean,
and no one's going to get in trouble.
We are sifting. Her words were literally, we are sifting through. This is like day 2 or 3. We are going to sift through the tips and filter through them and decide what's important for FBI and the police to get. And their comment to that was, we can't stop anyone from talking. Yeah, you can. You need to come on when you're sitting behind her and you need to say, no, actually, sorry, I need to correct you. You need to sift all tips through, this number. I mean,
that was ridiculous. When the kids started taking tips, I lost my mind. Let's welcome Miss Harmony. How are you? Well, nice to meet you.
Hi. I've been on your panel before. It's just so fluky that I happened to have the time and I saw you go live. And right at the time when you posted the post from the guy who says, I have Kylie in my room. So I just want to share some experience that I had in the last few days in regards to that, if that's okay.
What you got? Do you have any?
Okay. So what I did is, I know Don B through the Summer Wells case. So we watch him. He's interesting. And I saw that he had that post and I thought, that's just terrible, if it's a hoax or regardless, whatever. Right. And I know that he turned it in. So I have a lot of people in the crime community, yada, yada, who are following this case on Twitter. And so I thought, I'll put a little video together. So I put like a little video together, addressing it. Right. And sort of said, if this is a hoax, it's not cool. To
addressing the whole Kylie being missing.
Yeah. So, okay. Right. So I also said, like, I don't know if it's you who did this or someone's hacked into your account, but he has a YouTube channel. So I went to his YouTube channel. He's got a bunch of videos. You can look it up. And there really isn't anything nefarious about his videos. There's a couple of them, I'm not too sure of the territory, of him videotaping scenes that are like on the water and some with friends, right? So I'm not too sure if it's this guy. Mm-hmm. So I shared it to the other people because I know people will sleuth really good and figure things out or help out. And, it's one of the posts that of all of them that I have seen anyways, that is the creepiest and oddest, and it's not cool. So I did it, I think a day ago. And then I got a response from a person who just... Okay.
Let's get to the point.
I have a response from a person who just opened up their account from it was from an old Sabrina, and and it said it did not specifically say Kylie Rodni, and he spelled the name Kylie wrong. And as I came in, you were talking about it. Yes, the name is spelled
Like
wrong.
Ramon.
Right. But I think it's very odd that I get a response from somebody who decides to create a Twitter account and say that.
It is really, and if they're either, I think in this, I don't think he has Kylie. Okay, I don't think that.
No, I don't either.
It has to be turned in, obviously.
Yeah.
I think when Morgan pointed it out, and then of course in chat, because you guys are geniuses here, when I think that could have been purposefully, but the problem is he put it on a chat for Kylie Rodni and was previously in this chat yesterday saying he was at the party.
Oh.
Yeah.
These
You
people
know,
are disgusting. They're so disgusting. If they're they were doing things like this, tormenting families that have lost loved ones, there's the trolls that are on here are so disgusting.
Well, they're going to get trolled. I mean, they're going to get trolled because stuff like that cannot just be, put to the wayside.
The problem is the people like that they're tech savvy. They will have their account, their name, all that shut down and changed within seconds, because I do lives for makeup and I would get trolls, not bad, but stupid trolling on there, calling me a sir and that they're looking for a couch and just stuff. And I could block them, and literally I'd block them on the live, and within 2-3 seconds, they'd be right back up, even under the same name. They'd be right back up again. So they have ways to.
But why would a YouTuber make a post like that?
I don't think these are YouTubers. I think they're trolls that
so they're just copying and mimicking the YouTuber's account.
Whatever they want. Yeah, they're smart. I mean, they're probably all the way across the country, and we always say it, in a basement somewhere, dark basement, and it's like that's what they spend their time. And they are tech savvy. They know how to. They probably have 2,000 accounts. They'll just switch to another.
So that person from the YouTube, he is probably going to get questioned, even if he's innocent, right? Because, like you said, somebody copied his.
If they can find.
Pardon?
If they can search who it is, it's not a real name. I can guarantee that. It's a fake account, probably a fake IP address. It's.
But that's terrible. That'd be like our host here, somebody doing that and putting something underneath. That's so terrible. It's to put on to somebody. This guy's probably, he hasn't responded to me or anything like that. But just imagine, or even if it was me, because I have a YouTuber account and it was me that someone did. The what goes on in the social world, everything just goes crazy. You would be hated on and hunted down and all sorts of things, right? So I feel very bad if that's why I gave the opportunity for him the real person to respond, but he's probably just already been approached and probably told, don't respond, we'll fix it or something. But if this guy's going in chat rooms, I mean, isn't there a way when you find somebody like that to report them?
Well, he got reported to the police, but in here, I wanted him to keep talking. I wasn't going to shut him up.
Do you remember what he said to you?
Oh, yeah. It's on the show from yesterday. You can see.
Oh, it's yesterday's show? Okay.
And you were able, and it's saved. Make sure you save it, because like I said, he could already gone.
Mm-hmm.
So he said he was at the party?
Yeah.
Wow. And of course, more than likely, he wasn't. Because really, would the person really call up and say that? But
well, and that's the thing. I was like, were you at the party or not? That's what I want to talk about. Then he switched it to, he likes to swim out there. And I said, okay, well, were you swimming? I didn't believe the guy at all.
Right.
Okay. I said,
you're just dangling a carrot in his face.
The link is posted. So come up. Well, then he got himself in bigger trouble because, here's the thing. Him just being in here saying he was at that party, somebody's going to go find him once it's turned over. Okay. Once it's turned over, law enforcement, they have a social media department, but that takes time to go through everything. So anyway, that would have been investigated, period, because it's someone who could have seen Kylie. But then he goes to Don B, our neighbor on the YouTube streets,
Right.
and says, I've got her in my room. So anyway,
Yeah.
he's in a world of hurt. He's in a world of hurt. He's an idiot. He, she, 12-year-old in the basement, whatever. And
we can hope. Hopefully they can find him. I just know that even not the real smart ones have such tech savvy ways of
oh, they'll find him.
It was a terrible thing to say that, you know what I mean? Like that really freaked me out to see that on Dawn's page. And then I thought, I got to look back. Like if you go to the YouTube account, I'm not saying he might be Mexican, but there is one video where he's talking to a bunch of guys. And the thing is it like I said, there's a lake and it's an environment that you think may be, you know, there is a, you know, a connect somewhere, right? But I think he may be Mexican. I'm not sure. But the one video that he's talking to some guys, they're Mexican, right? So I just feel so bad about this guy, and it's just terrible that people are playing games in this case. You know,
it's only going to get worse and worse. And what surprises me about this case is that they came out fast with it. I mean, they didn't even no.
They weren't thinking when they first started to come out. There's some real things that disturb me, and it's like the young girl who, you know, says you can talk to me, you know, you can come to me. There's a teen thing. Like if she's a suspect, because we don't have any suspects on the table or anything like that, but let's just say she is, and we find out later, she could find out so much information, you know, that bothers me. Like even my kids, they're a little older than, you know, than them, said that just doesn't seem right. You just don't have a teen group, but maybe that community works that way. I mean, it's kind of good to have a community thing, but like for us, for example, where I am, we have a community center, so kids could go if anything happens and they can speak on things, right? But they don't go to a kid to do it. So that to me is very odd. That
none of this happened. This is somebody that thought they were being funny, or maybe they do know the family and for whatever reason wanted to see more upset. But they're going to be upset now because there's a lot better technology out there than what I have at my house, and they're going to find them. But I appreciate you coming up, Miss Harmony. Don't be a stranger, okay?
I'll check out yesterday's show. You all have a lovely day.
You too. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
All right. I got a couple people backstage, and I'm not going to be able to get to you guys today because I've got somewhere I've got to be. But I got to catch up with my friend Pat and all of you guys.
Hey there. Yeah, it's interesting listening to everybody's opinions. I like to hear them. I do. You know, sometimes I know I could probably be thinking inside the box, and I like to get outside of that box.
No, well, I mean, it's probably better to think inside the box so you don't look all warped like me.
Anyway, thanks for having me up, Brooks. I'm going to head off now. I have to put my air back on. I didn't have it on while on the show. It's too loud, and I'm just sweating.
Oh, we didn't mean to do that to you, but I'll see you over in Discord.
Okay, hun. Love you guys. Thanks, everyone in chat.
Love you, Pat.
Bye.
Hang on. Linda says, how do I join or become a member? Well, hang on. Someone's going to have to get the membership link for you because I'm in a different screen and I can't get to it. Can somebody drop the membership link real quick for Linda? If not, you go to the channel and there's a square that says join. Join. If you want to come into Discord and chat with us between shows, whether it's about vacations, upcoming holidays, your birthdays coming up, art projects, or the cases. There's a lot of different case rooms in there. Send me an email with your YouTube name, and I will send you a link to come into Discord. Oh, there we go. There's the membership link if you want to grab that. Or like Morgan said, press the join. All right, guys, thanks for chatting with me on a Saturday. I know everybody's got stuff to do on the weekends, But I just wanted to say something about Sammy leaving town with her parents, and of course, Adventures with Purpose, and talk about this crazy situation with Ramon. So I hope you guys have a great afternoon, have a great weekend, and I'm going to see you back here on Monday, unless in any of the cases we cover, something's breaking. I will see you guys over in Discord. You are the best chat and the best community on YouTube. Thank you for everything. Bye-bye.